Alright guys, and welcome back to another episode of my zombie series. It's Warhawk82 here. Thanks for tuning in. Now, last time we took a look at some of the previous maps. We were saying how in Doris, Rick Tofton was like the bad guy then. He obviously he sent Maxis and Samantha off somewhere. I think it sounded like he locked them into a teleporter or something. That's what the feel was in the Dies and in the Reese map, the original, when you listen to a few of the radios back. Now, what I believe is after Doris, he teleported himself and obviously the others or whatever to another area, and he realised the actual capabilities of Element 115, and I think that just through, the fact that he's an intelligent bloke, he's a doctor, but what is he a doctor in? Is a Scientology or something like that? Maybe he's not. I don't think he's like a medical doctor, but he's obviously doing something with like science and stuff like that. So I think just through sheer research, he realised that there was some sort of like Element 115 and also some little sort of like, see, you get like the baby ray gun. The baby ray gun, I think it's called, when you can shrink things and stuff like that. And I think he came to Shangri-La to actually try and get those pieces of weaponry into his arsenal to help with his domination. And obviously I think he's leading the rest of the group down a bit of a blind path, because obviously the rest of the group are with him in this map, and they go off and search. Now I will say that if you do the Easter egg in Shangri-La, there is a time traveller in there, and you actually help him to go somewhere else, but you don't actually know who this guy is. And I personally believe that this is Malton, right? Now, obviously, this is going to be maybe controversial for a few people, because you don't really know who the mystery man is. But in Ascension, on the loading screen, you actually see a guy looking sort of through like some sort of like office window or something, as if he's testing something. He's testing equipment. I think Malton has basically tested some equipment, obviously around about the same time as Doris, maybe just a little bit after, using Element 115, and he's actually teleported himself. And I think he teleported himself from Ascension into Shangri-La, and I think it goes in again. And when you help the guy to move on from Shangri-La, I believe that he gets trapped in the bunker in Nuketown, and then that's when, obviously, if you play Nuketown and you stab the bunker, you can hear him talking. You can hear him saying that he's captured by somebody's like hurting him or electrocuting him or something like that. But he's in there and he sounds like he's in a bit of trouble, and I think that's why in sort of Ascension there's a bit of sort of feedback. And that's why he's saying the mechanism is destroyed. You need to restart the mechanism. And like I said, I honestly believe that this is Malton, and that's why you can hear him in Newtown. And this is going to obviously continue when we do when we talk over like what's happening with transit and stuff like that. So that's my little like sort of take on the whole mystery man and stuff like that. I think Rick Tofton, obviously, once he's been to Shangri-La, he's got his bits and bobs, he's got his equipment. He then knows that he needs to go to the moon, and obviously to do this, he needs a rocket, and I think that's the reason that they go to Ascension. Now, obviously, the Ascension is going to take him to the moon. Now, in the moon, I think, and going back to my multi-universe piece that I put on my last video, and there'll be a link in the description for that in case you missed that. Basically, I believe that every single action takes you down a different route, and there's a multiple choice of outcomes. And obviously this is sort of like, if you do the Easter eggs, then you get the storyline, and you can see that Rick Tofton's going down sort of the bad path at this present time and moment. Obviously, if you don't do the Easter eggs, you just go to the next map, and I think obviously sort of that's what it is. It's like, imagine you go to this map and you're doing a mission. If you complete the mission, you go off to a separate route. If you don't complete the mission, you stay on the path you're on until you deviate and go to a different place. and go on a different route because you've done something different. You've changed history. You've done something a little bit different this time, and I think that's what the whole sort of zombie genre is. And I think the route that we've seen so far, I think we've seen like Rick Tofton being bad, because obviously it's the same Rick Tofton from Derice at this present time and moment, and we're going forward. Now, obviously, when we go to the moon, you complete the Easter egg, and Samantha is free, and you think everything's good, and then Samantha climbs inside Rick Tofton's mind and says that Group 935 are going to pay for what they've done to her father. And obviously, this is obviously, maybe a bit of get back at Rick Tofton. Because obviously, like I said, from the radios, it's supposed to be Rick Tofton is the one that's put Samantha and Maxis in a teleporter or locked them in somewhere, and then he's sent them off, or he might have teleported himself and left them to die. You don't know, you don't quite know yet. But obviously, that's this sort of present time and moment. And I think once you get to Moon, the pivotal moment is he blows up Earth, but he doesn't actually blow up Earth, he just destroys it a little bit. And I think that's what you can see in the Black Ops 2 zombies, and you can see that in the maps like Transit and Buried and obviously Die Rise, which obviously I'm going to go through. And I think at that present time and moment, I think he realises that he's done wrong. So he basically, because he's got obviously the power of Samantha, I think he sort of contacts Samuel and wants him to change things so that he can be freed and put things right. Right, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Tune in for my next one, but until next time, Mohawk 82 out. Peace.